Welcome again to the Freelance Teacher. I want to do a short review of the ACT English section. I've had a couple of clients with this of late, and I keep hitting the same snags, and the mindset of the person taking the test needs to be solidified right away. And so the thing that I keep talking about with Mosley High School juniors is that in the English section of the ACT, your job is the editor of those passages. You have 5 passages. Each one is 15 questions. You have 75 total questions. They give you 45 minutes. At first, that doesn't seem like a lot, but time actually with the English section usually isn't a problem. Usually it is with the reading comprehension, but with that first part of the ACT, the timing isn't the problem. What is the problem is the use of time. Rather than bang your head against the wall and plug in every answer into every underlined section of the passage, what you can do is keep in mind that your job is to edit the passage. You're editing the passage to make sure that it works well, sounds okay, is grammatically and rhetorically solid. So the grammar and mechanics, that's more than half. That grammar and mechanics part is a key part of what the ACT company says to colleges. They say, here, our test will give you a gauge as to where the student is grammatically, and their score will reflect that. The other part are the rhetorical skills questions. Does the person understand the tone? Do they understand the topic? Do they kind of understand what's being thrown out there in terms of the writing and understanding that writer's job? Is it teaching you something? Is it an opinion piece? Is it funny? These kinds of things. Your mindset needs to be right there and needs to be in the right place, so that when you're going through these questions, it's not just kind of rote, heavy lifting, like you're not digging a gigantic hole and then filling it back in. Your job is to have a little bit more nuance with what you're doing, and your mindset needs to be, I'm taking these passages, I'm fixing them, I'm making them fantastic and smooth. And that's really what you need to do, because I've had clients, especially of late, and they're just being robotic. They're taking the answers, plugging them into the section that's underlined. Which one sounds the best? No, 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 no. That's going to take forever. You don't have that kind of time. So you look for little clues, right? You do 2 things. You get your mind in the right place, and then you also look for these little clues that I cover at thefreelanceteacher.com, and you can see how these things are thrown out at you, and you can save time if you're recognizing little things like the correct use of the word there, T-H-E-R-E or T-H-E-I-R. And so, you know, in the ACT you have 4 answers. 2 of them had T-H-E-R-E and 2 of them had T-H-E-I-R. And I said to this client, I said, if you're the editor and you know which one is right, and the client knew right away, I said, well, you're now looking at 2 answers instead of 4. I said, you need to do that every time. As an editor, as a reader, you're going to need to fill in the blanks in your head and say, okay, I get it. I see what they're doing. I see which word is correct. I don't need to look at all 4. I need to look at just these 2. I fixed it. Move on. Because when you do that, this question took about 4 seconds. And that's not hyperbole. It took about 4 questions because the client recognized the wording, right? Had the mind in the right place, fixed it right away, and moved on. So that's one of the things that you have to do if you want to do well. The second thing, really quickly, is I can't stress enough that you need to read. One of the exercise axioms, one of the exercise sayings in terms of you know, people who lift at the gym and exercise to stay in shape or look good or be bodybuilders. The people at the top of that profession, especially the weightlifting bodybuilding profession, are asked all the time, what's the best program to follow to be at the top, to be at the pinnacle? And I heard, it's because I heard this the other day as well, and I listen to a lot of stuff and read a lot. And the answer was, the best program for you is the one that you're not doing. And I was kind of curious about that. And it turns out that your body and mind are so able to adjust. They're so capable in terms of figuring things out and adjusting to new techniques that you're going to exercise different muscles, in our case, intellectual muscles, by doing something that you're not doing. And in the SAT, ACT world and the exam world in general, one of the things that you can do that you're maybe not doing is reading on your own. So that saying, the best program is the program you're not doing, for many young people today, teenagers in particular, high school students, the program you need to pick up is you need to read more. Right? You don't need to read what I like to read. I seriously doubt you want to read about Austrian school economics and libertarian theory. Maybe you do. If you do, let me know, because I can really guide you well. But you need to read more, because the skill that is the common denominator to almost all successful fields that I've seen of late, and it doesn't have to do with the college degree, it doesn't have to do with how you look, it has to do with how hard you're willing to work and how literate are you. That's what I've seen of late. So make sure that your mind is in the right place in closing. Make sure your mindset is in the right groove while doing these things. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you work hard, and see to it that you start reading more. And these things will make a difference, and over time, they'll make you more successful. This is the Freelance Teacher, freelanceteacher.com. Talk to you next time.